Hey guys, we're back for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, just make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you enable your bell notifications so you don't miss out on a video. Now, if you're new here, make sure you're following me on all socials, and that is at Lakeisha Keisha on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Kick, and Twitch. Now, I really need y'all to go make sure y'all following me on Kick and Twitch. Okay, so make sure y'all doing that as well as the other social medias. Now we're gonna jump into this video because everybody wants to know, you know, when is, Kai gonna be charged, yada yada, and all of this about thinking that Kai is gonna go to jail. Nothing is going to happen to Kai. Kai is going to remain free. And we're gonna get into some of the reasons as to why, and pretty much what is the internet saying, and why nothing is going to happen in this case, and why they have pretty much ruled this case as self-defense. There's also been speculation as far as saying that T Hood had a pum pum, pow pow, whatever y'all want to call it. This is YouTube, so I have to kind of say what I gotta say. Okay. So people are saying, neighbors, people in the area that was there are saying that he most definitely did. Now I know some of y'all are saying, well, wait a minute, he got shot in the back. Oops, I should have said pum pum in the back. So y'all, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. But let's talk about specifically why nothing is going to happen in this case. Obviously, they're going to go through the normal procedures. But this is not a case where the police are letting something happen because of somebody being a celebrity. I too live in Gwinnett County. I don't know about any other counties, but they don't care about all of that. So let's get it.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
All right, y'all, let's get into it. So listen, nothing is going to happen in this case. Kai was set free. They talked to him. They got whatever, evidence that they took at the scene, and it is what it is. And this is why they're saying pretty much this is a self-defense. Now, we have heard from the family, and in all honesty, I wish they would have just shut the hell up, because listening at them and how they conduct themselves, we understand why the chips fell where they fell, because they knew that this dude was an abusive person. They knew this. This is not something that these people just found out. Them bashing K Frost, and she is the victim, it just really goes to show who they really are. So let's get into it. Now, I also want you guys to go to the mom's Facebook page and see if you can find her on Facebook. I can't find her. Now, I thought maybe she just blocked me, but I started to think they probably realized that they made fools of themselves and maybe made their pages private. Maybe the mom deleted her Facebook page because, baby, they was giving it to her on Facebook. In fact, one post, and I thought I had took a picture of it. Maybe I didn't. But in this particular post, the commenter said, your son had a pum pum. He laid there. The neighbors and everybody seen that he had a pum pum. Whoever this commenter said told the mother she was a liar, and her family created all these lies, and they knew from day one what really happened. Now, I don't know if this, if he had a pum pum. I do have the police report. I will let y'all see it today, but it does not mention that. Keep in mind, though, this is an open investigation. So I'm thinking maybe the police report looks the way that it looks because it's an open investigation. I've never saw anything like this. I've looked at police reports, and generally they will give a summative narrative. This one does not. So I don't know. Maybe they ran this guy's background, figured out who he was, and said, we don't give a damn, because his record is pretty bad. And someone did tell me this in the beginning. Okay. So they're saying that this dude had in his hands, okay, which would make sense. A lot of people saying, well, he was, from the back. Well, if you have something in your hand, I guess they can just keep on letting loose, because you having it in your hand means that you can lift up and, so, and then keep in mind, he was at these people's house acting up, and they have a right to, protect themselves. Some people was like, well, how can Kai call it self-defense? Because he can protect anybody in his house. Okay. Does not necessarily have to be him. Now, this guy has a history of violence. So I don't care what nobody say. This dude has a history of violence. And when I say a history of violence, I mean current today. Well, he's not here today, but y'all kind of know what I mean. As of April, they said he had an incident where some guys did the same thing to him. Luckily, he survived. They did it simply because he was doing what? Beating on a whole nother woman. Now, there has since been another video released of another lady saying he did the same. Well, I'm sorry. She said he was becoming abusive. I don't believe she said he had gotten to the point of putting his hands on her, but she ended up removing herself from the situation. Now, one other thing to think about, this guy, has a conviction, I believe, and we're going to get into it. So I'm going to say allegedly for cruelty to a child. Now, I don't know what the hell that means. Cruelty to a child. Now, I've heard of cruelty to an animal, and I know exactly what that means, but I don't know what it was they said he did to charge him with cruelty to a child. So this guy was not a good person. Let's just get into that. So one of the things I want to show you guys is, remember I told you about the police report. Let's kind of get into that. Okay. So I will show you it. I had time today, so I was able to redact it just so y'all know what these police reports, although the information is in fact public, when we come over here to YouTube, they want us to redact stuff that y'all can ordinarily get anyway. So sometimes that just wears me thin. So a lot of times if I have the report, I'm not showing it because a lot of times I don't have time to go through it and, redact stuff that is essentially public information. Now, here's the report. I'm going to skim through it really fast because, as I told y'all before, ain't SHIT on here. Now, as you can see, the date of it is 8/12, and I believe this happened on the 8th. So as you guys can see, they did the report a few days later. They didn't do it on that specific date. Don't ask me why, but I guess it don't matter because they didn't put shit on here anyways. Now, as you can see, they said the suspect, they put his name on there, which is Rasheeda Frost. Okay. Now, this is just a bunch of miscellaneous information. It gives the address, it gives Kai information, his name again. If you guys can see, it's very much blank, not really giving a whole lot of anything. Now, it did tell about another witness. I did blot her name out because she's not a celebrity. I don't know who she is, and I don't want people to get her information from here and go and harass her. Okay, so I have taken her information off of here simply because I don't even know who she is. She's not a celebrity. Okay, but if we guys get into the last part, as I told y'all before on previous videos, this is the part that we wanted to see. Now, this is the narrative. Okay, the narrative says a person was determined to be shot. He was treated on scene and taken to the hospital for care. The scene was turned over to detectives. Now, that is the police report. And I told you guys from the beginning, I said, this is weird. Like, I have never in my life saw a police report like this. It don't tell us SHIT. We don't know no more from reading that police report. And as I thought about it, it could be, because they had an investigation going on, and maybe they're going to come later and put more information on a police report. Maybe they just didn't want the public to know. I don't know. But the police report, they should have just said, we will complete it when we finish our investigation, because it says nothing. But maybe that was a requirement that they needed to fulfill these certain things. Now, what I want to go to is, I want to go to a video that I'm going to share with you all. In this video, what you're going to see is they're going to get into T Hood's background. They're going to show snippets of some things he was charged with. Because keep in mind, I told you guys, basically, this video, it says what? Here's why Kirk Frost, Love and Hip Hop, and Rasheeda's son, he ain't gonna be charged. He's gonna remain free. Let's get into it.
That Kirk Frost, and Rasheeda's daughter reached out to a daggone T Hood's mama and basically told her that, you know, he was on that T Hood was on his way, that she basically kicked him out of the house or whatever because he kept on putting his hands on her, and that she wanted to send his clothes or whatever in a daggone Uber. And all the
So here's the deal. We now were able to see the text message that Kay was saying, listen, he has to go. He's being abusive. So while the family is going to tell y'all that they don't know anything about him being abusive, she was on a text message from Kay saying, this dude is putting his hands on me. Now the family going to tell y'all that didn't happen, but that is a lie.
The mother was talking about was, okay, thank you. Now, as y'all see, after the mother sit there and say, okay, thank you, Kay at the end of the thing talk about something nobody is trying to help her when it comes to his daggone abuse. Nobody.
In that text message, what did Kay Frost say? It's right here. She says, your son is putting his hands on me. Can you have someone send an Uber for his belongings? He's not going to be able to come back here anymore. And I would like to Uber the stuff to y'all while he's on the way. What if the mom says, okay, thanks?
Tried to help her. Nobody was trying to help her as much as she basically was sitting here crying out for freaking help.
In that message, what does Kay say? Nobody is helping me when it comes to the domestic stuff. So the family was not even helping her either. She has the proof.
This is such a sad situation, y'all. Because all this time I'm sitting here thinking that her brother Kai was really in the wrong. I mean, granted, yes, he is, because you shouldn't have unalived that daggone boy. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. In my last video, I said that I'm in contact, y'all, with a close family member. And I really can't say too much because things are supposed to be coming out at the beginning of next week about this story, okay? But what I will say is I have the real story now. I already said in my last video, if y'all have not watched it, y'all need to go watch it. Because I have already said how Kai pulled up from getting off work, that Kai lived in that household. Kai was not called by his sister. He lived in the household. So it was no...
The lies about Kai being called by his sister, that was such a lie. All of this information that this family has put out here, it seems like they're trying to get GoFundMe money. Although, you know, these people lie so much, they said Rasheeda and Kirk said that they would pay for it. They turned it down. But yet you are still hustling GoFundMe money. But they said, well, at least the mother said in her interview, she didn't need it. She's straight.
Reason for her to have to call her brother because he already came home from work when the altercation was happening. And it wasn't just no slight freaking altercation. No, if y'all seen in this video, if y'all seen that video, this man freaking would bowing her in her daggone cell with his daggone fist, like, please, like, this situation is just sad. This is just more evidence basically showing that his mom, T-Hood mom, knew what was going on, y'all. She knew that her son was putting his hands on K Frost. The sisters knew. And for them sisters to sit here and constantly taking up for their brother on this daggone internet after he was sitting here abusing women, and I'm saying abusing women because this has been going on since this boy was young. Let's put up the daggone police records of him that my supporters freaking sent me. 3rd degree of a child, battery, family violence. All of these charges from 2014, y'all. They knew that.
This is what I was telling y'all. Cruelty to children, 3rd degree. What in the world is that? So this is from 2013. We are in 2025. So the family is going to tell you that they knew nothing about this. Do y'all not see this? Cruelty to children. It says children. It doesn't even say cruelty to a child. Children means it was at least 2, could have been more. So this is a guy that they say has never put his hands on women. It seems like he's doing some things to not only just women, but maybe children as well.
This daggone boy was not wrapped too tight in the head. This has been going.
Look at this. The family didn't know about this, but it clearly says battery family violence is what it says. This says 2014. That's what, like 11 years ago? So they didn't know about this either. These people are lying. They're liars.
Going on since 11 years ago. Like, so y'all sitting on this internet, his family is trying to sit on this internet like he has not been having problems since 11 years ago. Y'all trying to sit on this internet, oh, it was a toxic relationship. No, it basically shows that he has been the toxic one. And did y'all know in April, when he freaking first got pew-pewed from a whole nother incident, it was because he put his hands on a woman? Oh, okay. I'm gonna come back because y'all already know I'm coming back with a daggone another part because it's just so much when it comes to this story. And the same way I sat here and was going on the daggone Frost family, oh, now it's time to go on daggone the Hood family. Because at the end of the day, listen, y'all not about to sit here and play on this daggone internet as if daggone K Frost and as I was doing in the beginning, acting like it was all on the daggone Frost family. No, we're not about to do that. If y'all watch this whole video through, make
I mean, they pulled the receipts. The man has a very violent past. I mean, we cannot sit up here and act like, that somebody set this guy up. This is a lie. These people wanted this boy to leave their home, and it doesn't look like he was doing it. If he was doing it, apparently, from what people are saying that lives in this neighborhood, they're saying that this dude had a pum in his hand. Now, if that is the case, and he was pum in the back, it would make sense. Now, I don't even know if he was pum in the back because I refuse to believe anything that his family says because we know that they tell some lies, okay? Now, this was the second part of the police report, but in my eyes, this is more like a briefing. This is not a police report. You actually can go and pull this offline. Now, I'm going to read this to y'all, okay? It says, the investigation into the death of Tevin Hood remains active and ongoing. The shooter remained on the scene at the time of the incident. Remember, the family said, oh, he left. He didn't leave. And both the shooter and the witnesses continue to cooperate with investigators. Preliminary information indicates that a domestic disturbance occurred at the residence, resulting in a female victim sustaining physical injuries. Now, was that Kay? I guess we're assuming that it probably was. The shooter who arrived at the residence after the physical altercation had taken place. I don't know. People are saying that Kai was at work, wherever he was. At some point, he would have needed to come home. This says he separated himself from the residence before it occurred. Now, with this saying is separated, he separated himself. What that tells me is that there was something trying to ensue between the two, and Kai removed himself from the situation. And keep in mind, it's his house. He don't necessarily have to separate himself from his house. You can just leave. But I'm just reading what it says. It says, currently, there is no evidence to suggest the involvement of additional parties beyond those residing in the home. Although the investigation is still ongoing, and additional information will be released when it becomes available, this case is being investigated as a possible self-defense, okay? Now, it says the decedent, has been identified as 33-year-old Tevin Hood of Snellville. Now, so they say at approximately 7 p.m., the officers assigned to the South Precinct were dispatched to the residence. It said the caller reported that a dispute took place at the residence and someone was pum. When officers arrived at the incident location, they located the man who was pum, shot, and rendered aid, not age. Gwinnett County Fire Rescue transported the man to the local area hospital where he ultimately passed away due to the injuries sustained. One person was, what does that say? One person was, oops. What does it say? Okay, so basically they said somebody was, interviewed by detectives. We already know who that was. Okay, it says this case is being investigated as a homicide. The motive is still under investigation. The identity of the victim obviously will be released. We already know who, the identity of, the victim is. So, y'all, there's nothing going to happen in this case. I mean, they're going to investigate it. Obviously, I would assume they're going to continue with the autopsy, which would include the toxicology reports. We don't know if this guy was on some type of drugs or anything like that. But what they're saying is he most definitely had a pun in his hand, which makes a lot of sense because I know y'all was like, well, why did he, have to do it those many times? Well, if somebody has something in their hand, you keep it, keep until the what is the word that the police say, until the threat is eliminated. This guy has a history of violence. He puts his hands on women, and it seemed like he was doing it to his family too. If you guys just paid attention to that other video, he had gotten into trouble. Family violence is your family. I mean, it's clear. And then a conviction, y'all, for cruelty to a child. I'm going to be honest with you. Police don't like cases like this. In fact, they don't even like people like this. So nothing is going to happen here. I doubt that we're going to find out some kind of evidence that's going to persuade us over to the other side. In fact, and I was told this before, and I'm seeing it from my own eyes, it seems like his family are a bunch of clout chasers trying to get money, trying to get people to donate to a GoFundMe, when she had a whole entire message chain with Kay, and she couldn't get up off her butt and go over there when all of this was going on. There would be no way in hell that somebody would call me about any one of my children, as it relates to any type of fight or anything like that, and don't think I'm finna be there. You don't need to give me the address. If I'm in another part, like they live in, I think she said they were in, I can't remember, but where she said they were about 45 minutes. The least the mother could have done, and the Big Mouth sisters, is they could have got in their car and at least went over to the Snellville area. You know what I mean? So the fact that you're sitting over there talking about you didn't know the address, this is a bunch of bull crap. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Also, make sure you are liking the video. That's the thumbs up. Make sure you enable your bell notification so you don't miss out on a video. Make sure you guys are following me on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
Still too hot, late Keisha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop.